Hey guys, happy Tuesday. This is Therese of ThereseSkelly.com. And today I want to talk to you about a concept called proving energy. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm doing some writing for a project and I just started to talk about this with my group here on Facebook. And do you know that you might be unconsciously plagued by proving energy? So proving energy to me is basically like, usually it's unconscious because most of us don't wake up and say, I'm not enough, therefore I have to do a whole bunch of stuff to prove my worth, right? Most of us don't do that. Most of us are like, I got to do more because we never know the why, or I have to take another certification because again, we never know the why, but there's something in us that has this sense that like we got to prove ourselves, right? So for me, I had just gotten divorced, signed up as a brand new coach, and about 6 months into it, one of my mentors said, you know, it feels like you're always having to prove everything. And I was like, what? Me, the mindset guru. I was like, wait, I'm busted here. And I had no idea. But I had gotten divorced. Like a man said, I don't want you, and ripped everything away from my life. So I'm pretty sure I came out going, oh, hell no. Nobody's going to do that again. And so I became an overachiever. I became, I'll be the best one. I'll give the most. It's freaking exhausting. And so that's my question for you today. How do you know if you're improving energy? Because usually it's unconscious. Now, one of my members of my Fierce AF group with Therese Skelly, we were having this thread, and she said, I wanted to prove to myself that I could be in a fitness competition and be stronger than I was 10 years prior. Now that's the good proving. When you consciously set goals for yourself and say, I'm going for it. That's like a positive, I'm going to show to myself that, this older woman can just rock it like the young girls, is in my member's case there. The kind of proving energy I'm talking about comes from a sense of I'm not enough. It comes from shame. It comes from like, no matter what I do, who I am in the world isn't sufficient. And I need you guys to get conscious about that, because if not, it's kind of like that hamster's wheel, It's just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to try this, and it's never freaking enough. So, when I transitioned, I used to be a psychotherapist and then life coach and then business coach. And I was very competent in my therapy skills. But when I became a business coach, it was as if I like forgot everything I knew, right? And so it's just like, but I don't have this, I don't have this. I kept apologizing. I only focused on what I was lacking, like any experience in business or a business degree or having read a business book, just simple stuff like that, right? It was a huge learning curve for me. And I never looked at what I brought. I only looked at what I didn't have. So it took me a really long time, and I had to freaking prove and overgive and overdo because of this. So here's how I solved it. And so here's just one little technique for you. What I did is I said, okay, as a therapist, I feel really competent, right? I know that. And so what's it going to take? Now I'm a business coach. Basically, I had to call myself out. I had to say, when's enough enough? When is this bullshit of I'm not enough, therefore I got to try harder, do more, give more, like scramble? And so it was like, well, is it like if I have more clients? And that wasn't it. Is it more time in the business? No, that wasn't it. Is it if I make more money? No, that wasn't it. And for me, what it was is when I feel as masterful with my business coaching as I had done with my 15 years or whatever of therapy experience, then I could say, oh, I'm fully cooked. I have arrived, right? And so that's the question. Number one, ask yourself, is there any part of me that is working from this place of I need to prove? Number two, who do I need to prove this stuff to? For me, it was that bastard ex-husband, right? For you, it might be your father or your mother or competition with your brother. Now, not everybody has proving energy towards somebody. Sometimes we just are raised with a sense of not enoughness, right? And so we're always chronically proving. I mean, I know I was like, I have to be the best in the class. I have to be the funniest one in the room. I've got to be the best student. I will be the most helpful, most adorable. I just have to prove myself all the time. And good God, it's exhausting. That's literally shame that drives you and is like, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. And that is not the truth of you. The truth of you is you're perfect, whole, and complete. I see my Reverend Richard on the call. And so you are perfect, right? You don't need the externals to realize that you are enough. So number one, notice, is there any of that going on? And you know, if you ask in your head, you might say, no. Don't ask your head, ask your body. You know, our mind really lives in our body. We think our mind lives in our brain, the little gray matter. No, our consciousness, our mind literally lives in our body. It is stored in our body. So what I want you to do is just tune in. Now, don't ask your head, just go, truth. Do I feel like I have to prove myself? Now, very often you're going to hear yes or no. And very often you can even say, wow, okay, if I do, show me the part. You know, if you didn't get loved up, if you suffered a loss, if somebody rejected you, if you've had some failures, those parts are going to pop up and go, see, kind of messed that up. See, they didn't want me. You see, there's evidence. So you love them up. And basically the question is it really true? So when I had asked myself, like, am I really not enough as a business coach? I could have spent that for years and years and years, because remember, I was focusing on what I didn't have. But instead I said, okay, jig's up. What's the expiration date? And for me, it was when I feel as competent. So number one, am I proving myself? Number two, who am I proving myself towards? Whose attention or approval am I looking for? Number three, how can I stop that? How can I basically call bullshit on that story? So is it really true that you're not enough? Is it really true that you're rejected? Okay. So you got to put like some marks in there to go, let's like blow that little belief up. And the third thing I want to talk about is this concept called the imposter syndrome. Y'all know what that is? Now, obviously, if you're brand new, you don't have 10,000 hours. You don't have 50 testimonials. You don't have this background of like, my stuff really works. But you have life prior. You have success in other ways. You have, people are coming to you for other things. And so that imposter thing, so that's where shame can really like, well, look, they're making more money. They've been at it longer. Tony Robbins already says this. Who are you? You need another certification. You need to lose weight. You need. Whenever you start hearing that, the question is it freaking true? Like when I used to be a therapist, it was kind of funny because on Fridays, all the therapists would go to therapy. That's why nobody could get appointments on Friday, because all the therapists were dealing with their stuff, right? And what was crazy is that I would have an appointment Friday, then the very next week, a client would be in front of me and I'd been going, oh, good God, I just worked on that 3 days ago. And so literally we say you only got to be a couple steps in front of the people you're supposed to help. So we all think like, well, I can't help because I haven't achieved 7-figure level, or I haven't done this, or I'm not expert enough. But you're expert enough for the people for whom you are here to serve. It's all soul agreements, right? My people are my people, your people are your people. We literally have soul agreements for who are supposed to come and help us. So if the little stories in your head are, who do you think you are? Shh, stop it. Now you might not know how to market great. You might not know how to package your stuff or get the right messaging around it. A good coach or mentor can totally help you with that. But the thing is, your soul knows the way. And so I just want you to remember, you are enough. And so if you have enjoyed this video, and if you have any experience with this proving energy, I would love to hear, like, how did it show up for you? And also importantly, how did you bust free of it? So I gave you a couple techniques that I use. Number one, be conscious of it. 2, basically call it out, call bullshit on it. 3, understand who you're trying to get that from. Unplug from that. Find the part that is feeling like, oh, not loved or not enough. Love it up. And then bring your people in, right? There are people in your life that love and adore you and see your greatness. Make sure you have a lot of those people, because you don't have to prove yourself to them. And the more you can be real, the more you can just call and say, God, I feel like shit today. Like stuff is not working. And get love and get people accepting you. It really just changes that whole need to prove, need to be perfect. All right, I hope you liked this video today. Would love to have your comments below. Peace and blessings. Mwah. Bye now. Take care.